and there we are, my friends. Fortune mining, just over 9 stacks of coal ore and just over 7 stacks of iron ore. Do any of you folks want to hazard a guess at how much of each resource we actually managed to get? Bearing in mind, we had Fortune 3. Let's have a look, shall we? From 7 and a bit stacks of iron ore, we've got ourselves 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and nearly a half stacks of iron. That's ridiculous. And from just over 9 stacks of coal ore, we have ourselves 9, 18, 19, 20, 20 and a half stacks of coal. My word, that is ridiculous. Now, though, we have the task of smelting all of this iron. And I think, let's be honest, there's only one way to do that quickly. It's super smelter time. So welcome back, my friends. My name is Python, and we're back on the Let's Play world. Now, rather annoyingly, we're gonna have to smelt some of this iron the sort of normal way because I don't have a lot of pre-existing sort of processed iron to make hoppers with, and hoppers is something I'm gonna need a decent amount of for a super smelter. Well, maybe more so an auto smelter than a super smelter. We're not going full etho mode with a super smelter with ridiculous rates, my friends. Now, we're gonna go nice and simple. I'm thinking maybe an array of, I don't know, 8 furnaces. That's a pretty good starting point, right? But anyways, while we're waiting for the first bits of iron to smelt, it gives me an opportunity to say a massive thank you, as always, for all of your lovely support throughout this series. I really appreciate it, folks. So here we go. Got our 2 stacks of iron and a tiny little bit I had stored in me chest. And now we're going to make ourselves a ridiculous load of hoppers. I think 17 is the amount we need, because we've got 2 rows of 8 hoppers to put down. One to take the smelted item out of the furnace to put in an output chest, and then another row of hoppers above the furnaces so we can automatically fill them. And then we need a hopper minecart so we can evenly distribute all of the items that will be smelted. Wait, hang on a minute. No, it's not a hopper minecart we need. It's a minecart with chest we need. Oh, hello there, buddy. What you got for me today? Ah, no Nautilus shells. Why am I disappointed that there's no Nautilus shells on offer when I've already got a conduit? Well, it's because I've had a little bit of a change of heart. You may recall on the first episode introducing this project, I said that I wanted to have the conduit perfectly centered in the middle there. But how about this for an idea instead? We have ourselves a 2x2 beacon set up in the middle instead, and then we have ourselves a conduit in each of the 4 corners. By doing that, we would have a heck of a large area which has conduit power, right? And therefore, it's going to make building at this area, particularly underwater, a heck of a lot easier. So then, let's get on with that auto smelter. We're going to start off again at the end by putting down the output chest with the hoppers all leading into the output chest. On top of the hoppers go the furnaces, and then on top of the furnaces, another line of hoppers. We're then going to add ourselves in a block's worth of space on either side before we have ourselves the end wall, and then we're going to have ourselves a couple of powered rails at either end with a bunch of rails in the middle. And of course, we're going to make sure that the powered rails are indeed powered. All that's left to do now is to have the minecart chest placed down, ensure we've got ourselves some fuel in here. I could improve this by having the fuel be automatically inserted into the furnaces, but I don't think we need to go quite that far today. Maybe when we make ourselves an eventual super smelter, yeah, that would be the point in which I try to really maximize the efficiency. But yeah, for now, this will do the job. So, all I need to do now is grab all the stuff that needs to be smelted. And we're going to put some copper in there that I mined up since the last episode as well. And then we just do a little bit of this. Ah, yeah. So, as time goes on, yep, these fill up, and these things get smelted. Now, I know what some of you folks might be thinking, well, Python, why didn't you use blast furnaces for this? It's because I'm also going to be using this auto smelter to smelt a ridiculous ton of glass eventually, so we can properly make a start on our SEATROPOLIS project. There seems to be a bit of a theme emerging in today's episode. Giant odd jobs. We mined our ore towers to kick things off. We have ourselves a moderately sized auto smelter, but now, my friends, we're about to turn things up to 11. We are going to encase the ocean monument entirely. We're going to have ourselves temporary sand walls all the way around the ocean monument. That way, all of the guardians will be limited to within the ocean monument space. Before we get too excited, though, I'm going to need myself some more invisibility potions. So let's get some of those bad boys underway, and then we'll be able to get the walls placed down without guardians hassling us. So let's make ourselves some awkward potions, get ourselves a fermented spider eye, piece of redstone, and golden carrot. Use the golden carrot to make night vis potions. Then we'll use the fermented spider eye to convert these into invis potions. And finally, extend the duration with some redstone. Next up, we're going to get ourselves nearly naked. We're just going to have ourselves our diamond boots on because that will allow us to move very quickly underwater. And in terms of water breathing, the conduit offers that ability, doesn't it? So, yeah, we're pretty good. The big question is 24 minutes enough time to get all of the temporary sand walls placed down? Oh, I've absolutely no idea. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? How's our auto smelter doing? Oh, wow. 4 and a bit stacks of iron smelted already. Fantastic. Are we ready for this, my friends? Let's grab ourselves a bunch of sand out. Let's get our first invis potion on. And without further ado, it is sand placing time. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Maybe we just drop the sand down from above. Seems like a good way to go, right? And yes, we will be filling in the walls at the corner skyscrapers underneath as well. I want this entire ocean monument encased. For any of you folks unaware of my Guardian Farm design plan, what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to wind up draining the inside space here. All of the water will be drained aside from inside these squares here. These are going to all remain, and eventually there's going to be a bunch of soul sand placed at the bottom, meaning these will become big bubble elevator areas. And already my first invisibility potion has worn out. And we're probably about 2/3 of the way through the first wall. I'm definitely going to need a second batch of potions, aren't I? Ah, well, it is what it is. Let's keep this thing going. Let's get this first wall done. I'll tell you something, my friends. I think there's quite a lot of large tasks here that we could probably do in the form of live streams. It's been a long time since I've live streamed from this Let's Play world here, hasn't it? Yeah. Draining out the monument, I think that could be a good stream project, for example. Maybe even digging out the monument itself. That could be another stream, right? So yeah, definitely expect some more streams to come. And here we go, my friends, the final column for the first wall. I think what we'll do for the remaining 3 walls is do it in the form of a time lapse. Today seems to be a very time-lapse heavy episode, doesn't it? But it's all stuff that needs to be done, isn't it? Now, in terms of our sand supply, this is what we've got remaining. So it didn't even take a full sugar box to do 1 wall. So that means we do indeed have enough sand to do all the walls. So then, my friends, let's grab ourselves another batch of invis potions, and then we'll get this time-lapse underway. Ladies and gentlemen, just in time for the final invisibility potion to run out, we have all 4 walls put up. This ocean monument is entirely encased. No guardians will ever be able to get outside here again. Ho, ho, ho. Man, I feel like that is a giant step forward for this project. One of many giant steps forward, let's be honest, but a giant step forward nonetheless. Aw, yeah. I'll tell you something though, in terms of our sand supply, had we have only gotten 3 full shulker boxes of sand, we would have had, literally, just this 1 sand block left over. We've still got ourselves an entire shulker box full of sand here. This would be the 4th one, of course. So yeah, we've still got plenty of sand that we can chuck into our auto smelter. So let's grab our elytra and let's get out of here. I think that's enough SEATROPOLIS for today's episode. Quick progress check on the auto smelter. Yep, it's all done. Wow, we've got 42, maybe 43 bits of coal in some of these. Why is there 43 in only this one here? That's a bit strange. All the rest all have 42. Oh well. Do you know what? Shall we get a full shulker box worth of sand smelted up? I think that'd be a good idea. Flick the switch. That stops, and then we can do just a little bit of this. Smelt all the sand. Oh snap, imagine the amount of XP that's going to be stored in these furnaces. There would have been quite a lot stored from doing all this, but adding a whole bunch of sand smelting into glass on top of it? Oh my goodness me, there's going to be a lot. So then my friends, moving on to the final big odd job for today's episode. What on earth is going on here? Oh, there's a zombie invader. How dare you go around thinking that you could just invade my base? I'm not about to have that. Thank you, llamas. I appreciate your service there, buds. So getting back to it, we're going to get ourselves some night viz potions because we are going to head back down into the depths. We made ourselves a significant amount of progress towards getting enough iron to make ourselves enough iron blocks for a tier 4 beacon pyramid. I mean, look at all of this. This is a ridiculous amount. Let's make ourselves all of the blocks we can, and then we can see how much further we need to go. 2 stacks and 36 is the magic number you need for a full tier 4 pyramid. So what that means for us is we need just under a full stack further of blocks of iron. Or in other words, 9 stacks of raw iron. I mean, it's not as if we didn't find ourselves the beginnings of a giant iron vein in the last episode, huh? We said we were going to head back to it, and head back to it we will. There we are, 24 minutes of night viz. Is it enough to get ourselves over 9 stacks of raw iron? There's only one way to find out. I really do hope you folks have been digging this episode, by the way. There's been a lot of progress in a lot of different ways. And yeah, we've basically laid the framework to be able to do quite a lot of epic stuff in the future. I mean, take a tier 4 pyramid, for example. We get ourselves that, and believe it or not, we'll be able to instant mine prismarine. So that would make the whole digging out the ocean monument thing far, far easier. What the heck? There's another traveling merchant. If only this guy had Nautilus shells. We've been unlucky with that, unfortunately, but ah, well. But yeah, the fact is, there's a lot of epic stuff still to come in this series, and I'm very, very excited for it, and I really do hope you folks are as well. I guess there's nothing stopping us from grabbing some of this here surface iron. So then, let's night viz up, and let's start grabbing some iron. We really don't need overly much this time, not compared to last episode anyway. 1 stack grabbed already, and here we are, back at the giant iron vein. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Let's begin, my friends. Oh, that's always a beautiful sight, isn't it? The iron raw resource block. Ah, fantastic. I love these giant iron veins. Again, one of the greatest features added with the Caves and Cliffs overhaul. 2 stacks of iron grabbed. Another beautiful looking resource block grabbed. And that's 3 stacks grabbed. A third of the way there already. It's got to be said, this is a far more satisfying way of getting the resources needed for a tier 4 pyramid. A lot of the time, I would just make an iron golem farm, and don't get me wrong, that is definitely something I do want to do in this series, and in fact, I would like to do that as part of the SEATROPOLIS project. But yeah, the fact that we're going for a full tier 4 pyramid in just sort of the normal way of manually mining the resources, it's satisfying. I really enjoy it. Oh, would you look at that? Some beautiful gold in the mix as well. And that, my friends, is 4 stacks grabbed. Oh! Now, that's an even more beautiful sight, isn't it? Oh, very, very good. All right, we'll pick these up in ore form so we can mine them later alongside the other diamonds we got in the last episode. That's 5 stacks now. Wow, we're at over 5 stacks of iron, and it's only now our first night vis potion is running out. That's incredible. 6 stacks obtained, and that's 7 stacks. Make that 8. And here we are with our final night vis potion. We're very close to our goal of 9 stacks of raw iron. I think I might have found another little offshoot of this iron vein. So, it's full steam ahead once again. And here we go. Just one more ore. And there we are. All 9 stacks required. Very good. Ah. I used my final crafting table at the auto smelter. Whoops. Well, that was rather silly of me, wasn't it? But anyways, there we are. From henceforth, any iron we get is surplus. Well, my friends, unfortunately, I didn't actually find all that much surplus iron. I mean, you know, nearly 2 stacks. It's kind of okay, I guess. And we've got a smattering of other resources as well. Oh, my goodness me, it's dark. But, yeah, I was kind of hoping to find maybe a little bit more than that. But, well, let's get ourselves out of here, my friends. Unfortunately, the sand smelting into glass via the auto smelter here probably wouldn't have gotten all that far because we were well away from this location. Let's have a look. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ah, well, get the iron in, and then the later slots can be filled with sand so it can continue smelting glass. We've got a little bit remaining here, so we'll just have to make sure we come back here every now and again and fill this bad boy up. But yeah, there we are, prioritizing iron. So with that big old job done and dusted, I think it's time to wrap up today's episode. We mined up some giant ore towers, we set up an auto smelter, we encased our ocean monument with sand walls, and we now have enough iron to make ourselves a full tier 4 beacon. And you know what? Next episode is episode 30, isn't it? So why don't we celebrate that little milestone by going for the wither? For now, though, it's time to wrap up this one. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you folks have enjoyed today's episode. Drop a like if you have. And of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my future content.